The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent.
Class 9, heifer aged 8 months and under 12 months. Catalogue numbers 1, 2, 3 and 7 to now parade.
August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a result in Class 9, heifer aged 8 months and under 12 months. First place to catalogue number 1, Killane Emblynet, exhibited by Killane Angus. In second place, catalogue number 7, Diamond Miss Abigail, exhibited by Diamond Angus. And in third place, catalogue number 2, Mirabella Vanity, exhibited by Rowan and Helen Beracry. And thank you to our sponsors of these junior heifer classes, Bottle Creek Pastoral, and sashing our winners in this class, Ms. Yana Wake. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this first class of heifers. And thank you to our sponsors of these junior heifer classes, Bottle Creek Pastoral.
Thank you very much, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just before I make comment on this class, certainly like to extend a very sincere and warm thanks and appreciation to the ECA for the invitation to come and judge here today. Certainly have visited Queensland many times in the ECA, but it's my first time adjudicating in this prestigious ring, so thank you very much for the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, my involvement in this great industry of ours, I suppose, has been across three main facets in my career. That's been one as a cattle breeder, two working for a major processing company, and more recently working for a major breed society. And what that's really left me with is a very clear image of the type of cattle I'm looking for. They've got to be functional, they've got to be structurally sound, they've got to carry an ample amount of red meat and carcass quality through them, and they've certainly got to have the ability to be breeding something that's better than themselves in the next generation. So with that in mind, we're going to have a challenge today, and I'm looking forward to it. And for the quality of cattle we've seen in the first class, I think we're all going to have a bit of fun. The heifer that I've gone for in first place today, ladies and gentlemen, the youngest heifer in the class, just really admire that neck extension. So clean through the front. All four of these heifers are super mobile. They're very good on the move. They're built on a very good set of feet and legs. The heifer that wins the class, just really appreciated how clean she is through the front, that extra depth through her mid-piece, the extra capacity, extra springer rib. She's carrying enough carcass to her. Look, is she perfect? Perhaps not, but today she really ticked all the boxes that I was looking for in this particular class. The heifer in second place today, again, very similar in type and style and kind and makeup to the heifer that we've used in first place. beautifully made through the forequarter. She's so smooth through that shoulder. She's a long heifer. She's beautifully made. She probably just gave up a little bit of constitution through that hindquarter and rear leg structure to the heifer that I've used in first place today. The heifer in third place today, probably unfortunate for her. She's come up against a couple of heifers with a really a standout amount of performance and growth and weight for age. This heifer in third place could well be the most structurally sound heifer in the class. But judging cattle, breeding cattle is all about compromise. And I've just, I suppose, favoured a little bit more performance than those two heifers above her. But that should be nothing to take away from that heifer in third place. Congratulations to those exhibitors and look forward to working with you today.
Thanks very much, Jake. Ladies and gentlemen, our second class in the Angus ring, class 10, heifer aged 12 months and under 16 months. And if I could have catalogue numbers 9 through 12 and 15 to please parade. And we have two scratchings in the catalogues, catalogue numbers 13 and 14. If you are looking for catalogues, ladies and gentlemen, they're over in the red tents just behind the Brahman ring. Weight sheets will be down as soon as we've got them printed. And we have two scratchings in the catalogues, catalogue numbers 13 and 14. If you are looking for catalogues, ladies and gentlemen, they're over in the red tents just behind the Brahman ring. Weight sheets will be down as soon as we've got them printed. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 10, heifer aged 12 months and under 16 months. First place, catalogue number 10, Mirabella Vogue, exhibited by Rowan and Helly Beracry. In second place, catalogue number 12, K5X Bardo, exhibited by SB Hayward and KL Smith. And in third place, catalogue number 9, Bowenfels Turkish Delight, exhibited by Bowenfels Angus. Sponsoring this class is Bottle Creek Pastoral, and I'd like to thank Yana Wake from Bottle Creek Pastoral for sashing our ribbons here in this class. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comments.
Thank you. Well, what an outstanding group of young Angus females in this second class, ladies and gentlemen. We certainly have to appreciate how much weight for age and scale they've got for just being on 12 months of age. Just plenty of performance, structurally very sound, very mobile cattle, and very relevant to our beef industry. For me, few compromises in this class, if we're being honest, and I do apologise for just taking a shade longer. For me, probably prioritise just that structural soundness in this female in first place. Just loved how clean she is through the neck and through the forequarter. She just has that beautiful laid-in shoulder. She just has that presence. She strides out exceptionally well. She's very long-bodied. It was probably her depth of body that got her over the heifer in second place. The heifer in second place, if anything, has more red meat along her spine. I'd love to pick that up out of that second place heifer and put it in the first place. But as we said about breeding and judging cattle, it's all about compromise and putting that best genetic package we can together to take us forward. The heifer in second place, extremely long-bodied, equally as smooth through the front. She probably just gives up that little bit of depth of body to the heifer in first place today. As we start to move down the line, again, similar to the first class, we have a very structurally sound heifer in third place. Just put together very well. She's very neat through the forequarter. She's got plenty of depth of body, plenty of red meat between her bones. She strides out exceptionally well. She probably just gives up a nickel of performance to those two heifers that we had in first and second today. But congratulations to the exhibitors. Outstanding run of Angus females. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jake.
She strides out exceptionally well. She probably just gives up a nickel of performance to those two heifers that we had in first and second today. But congratulations to the exhibitors. Outstanding run of Angus females. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the Angus ring, we move now to the judging of our final junior heifer class, Class 11, heifer aged 16 months and under 20 months. And we have 5 exhibits in this class, catalogue numbers 16 through 20 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Angus ring, we move now to the judging of our final junior heifer class, Class 11, heifer aged 16 months and under 20 months. And we have 5 exhibits in this class, catalogue numbers 16 through 20 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 11, heifer age 16 months and under 20 months. First place to catalogue number 20, Diamond Miss You Reckon, exhibited by Diamond Angus. In second place, catalogue number 19, Mirabella Ultima Queen, exhibited by Rowan and Helen Beracry. And in third place, catalogue number 16, Trowbridge BBB Pure, exhibited by Jada Lambkin. And I'd like to thank our Ms. Yana Wake from Bottle Creek Pastoral presenting these ribbons, and thank you for their sponsorship of these classes. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comments.
Thank you. Well, what an outstanding run of young Angus females for this class. There's obviously a couple in here that are sort of getting up on the job and getting towards calving, which is great to see. And look, really, for me, it's all about balance, right? There's cattle in this class that are structurally very sound. There's cattle in this class that carry an ample amount of red meat and carcass through the loin. There's cattle in this class that have a tremendous amount of capacity. So for us as judges, as cattle breeders in this industry, it's all about how we tie all those packages together for the ultimate outcome, which is producing a profitable calf. The heifer that I've gone for in first place today, if she'd like to lead off, ladies and gentlemen, probably a heifer that either had to be right at the front or perhaps towards the back. Her capacity, her weight for age, her carcass shape, her thickness through the hind quarter is just outstanding. She's obviously right up on the job of calving. She parades around the ring, really well. If anything, just like to stretch her out through the forequarter a bit, give her a little bit more neck extension. But when you see that much capacity and rib shape in a young Angus female, you really have to back her into first place. As we start to move down the line into second place, ladies and gentlemen, a very structurally sound female. Plenty of length of body. She could well be the longest heifer in the class. Really admire her cleanness through the front, her neck extension, really well laid in shoulders. It's really something that's really important to me. She probably gives up a little bit of capacity to the heifer that we've gone for in first place today, but a heifer that should be the owner should be very proud of her, and another day should probably go one better. As we continue to move down the line into third place, probably a heifer that's very similar in type and kind and makeup to the heifer that we used in second place. She probably gives up a little bit of length of body and perhaps a little bit of capacity. She carries an ample amount of red meat. She probably had the most natural thickness in the class. It was just that overall capacity and length of body that probably had her in third instead of further up the line. And I just wanted to pass comment, I suppose, on the two unplaced heifers here. Tremendous amount of red meat through the loin. Very thick over the top, very wide through the hip and pin. Very well put together through the forequarter. Probably just gave up a little bit of capacity and depth through that rib shape compared to the three that we used up above her, above them today. Congratulations, and look forward to seeing who might get up on the championship. Well done.
Thank you, Jake.
Very well put together through the forequarter. Probably just gave up a little bit of capacity and depth through that rib shape compared to the three that we used.
And ladies and gentlemen, that does take us to the judging of the Angus Junior Champion and Reserve Junior Champion heifers. If I could have catalogue numbers 1, 10 and 20 to please parade, and we'll have catalogue numbers 7, 12 and 19 to be ready in case required for the judging of reserve. If I could have catalogue numbers 1, 10 and 20 to please parade, and we'll have catalogue numbers 7, 12 and 19 to be ready in case required for the judging of reserve. We could have catalogue number 19 to enter the ring, please. We could have catalogue number 19 to enter the ring, please. Ladies and gentlemen, our junior champion Angus heifer for 2025 goes to catalogue number 20, Diamond Miss You Reckon, exhibited by Diamond Angus. And our reserve junior champion Angus heifer, catalogue number 19, Mirabella Ultima Queen, exhibited by Rowan and Helen Beracry. And our junior champion and reserve junior champion heifer receive the association sash and medallion sponsored by Angus Australia. And we have presenting these Mr. Ben Hill from Bulliac Angus Stud. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his junior and reserve junior champion heifer.
Thank you. Well, it looks like we've got a bit of a repeat out of the previous heifer class, perhaps. But, ladies and gentlemen, the heifer on top for the champion today, just a tremendous amount of capacity through that midsection, depth of body. She's a very long heifer. Just love how square she is through the hip. Plenty of capacity through that hindquarter. She's just really thick throughout. If anything, you know, perhaps the reserve has a little longer neck and a little cleaner through the front. But when you start to think about the engine room of this young female, both in terms of what she needs to do reproductively and in terms of her efficiency when grazing, you know, that midsection, that rib shape, the depth of body, the way she carries herself through to the hip and down through the hindquarter, that extra thickness through the lower third on her thigh through the twist, I think is the reason that she gets the junior championship today. Her mate that came out in the previous class and ran second to her, for me, was the clear reserve champion here today. Just tremendous amount of length of body, structurally sound. She has an ample amount of red meat and carcass through her. She's very sweetly made through the forequarter. She perhaps, like to see a little bit more depth of body to her. But, you know, as an Angus breeder myself, working in the industry, makes me pretty excited to see two young females like this, just how industry relevant they are and how much thickness and capacity they can produce at such a young age. So congratulations to the exhibitors. Makes me pretty excited to see two young females like this, just how industry relevant they are and how much thickness and capacity they can produce at such a young age. So congratulations to the exhibitors.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the judging of our junior bull classes. In our first class, Class 12, bull aged 8 months and under 12 months. And we have catalogue numbers 21, 23, 25, 26 and 28 to please parade before the judge. Move on to the judging of our junior bull classes. In our first class, Class 12, bull aged 8 months and under 12 months. And we have catalogue numbers 21, 23, 25, 26 and 28 to please parade before the judge. A little bit more information, ladies and gentlemen. I believe the wage sheets are up in the catalogue room area if you're looking for those, but I'll read some out for you. Catalogue number 21 has a weight of 566 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 13 and 9, and an EMA of 94 square centimetres. Catalogue number 23 weighs 646 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 10 and 7, and an EMA of 106 square centimetres. Catalogue number 25 weighs 546 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 9 and 7, and an EMA of 94 square centimetres. Catalogue number 26 weighs in at 465 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 9 and 6, and an EMA of 86 square centimetres. And catalogue number 28 weighs 477 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 9 and 5, and an EMA of 82 square centimetres. And catalogue number 28 weighs 477 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 9 and 5, and an EMA of 82 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in our first junior bull class, Class 12, bull aged 8 months and under 12 months. First place to catalogue number 21, Diamond Vigilante, exhibited by Diamond Angus. In second place, catalogue number 23, Killane Worldwide, exhibited by Killane Angus. And in third place, catalogue number 25, Diamond Villain, exhibited by Diamond Angus. And I'd like to thank our one of our Miss Showgirl entries, Alicia Nixon from Roma, representing Southwest, for sashing these bulls in this class. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this class.
Thank you very much. Well, certainly an interesting class with no shortage of variation in type and style and kind. And again, just trying to find that overall package that brings a bit of carcass constitution, natural thickness, structural soundness, and a little bit of style to the table. The bull that I've gone for in first place today, tremendous weight for age. He's the youngest bull in the class. Probably the freest moving in the class. If I was to make a general comment on the whole class, like to see them just a little bit more free this morning. But with the benefit of the doubt, the natural thickness that this bull has out the back of the shoulder, through the chine, his strength through the girth and through the heart girth, all the way back through to the hindquarter. He's got a tremendous amount of hindquarter thickness on him. He's very thick through the twist. Look, he's free moving enough. He's a nice balanced calf, and it was that maturity pattern that probably got him into first place over the bull in second. The second place bull today, certainly the heaviest bull in the class. Again, tremendous amount of capacity and depth through the rib. Just that overall depth of side that these top two bulls had really made it hard to split. He probably gives up a little bit of, I suppose, constitution and soundness through the back of the shoulder and down through the chine to the bull in third place. The bull in third place today, if anything, probably was one of the more structurally sound bulls in the class. Probably just gives up a little bit of capacity, depth of body to the bulls that I used in first and second today. A bull that parades out pretty well. He's thick enough. He's certainly sound through the forequarter. And if anything, with just a little bit more capacity, I probably could have used him in second place on a different day. As we start to move down into the bulls that are largely unplaced, tremendously long bulls. They're very structurally sound bulls. They're very clean through the forequarter. They're very good on top. They probably just lack that, I suppose, that overall performance compared to the three bulls that I've used in first, second and third today. But all of those exhibitors should certainly be proud and congratulated on their efforts for those bulls in the first bull class there this morning. So congratulations.
Thank you, Jake.
They probably just lack that, I suppose, that overall performance compared to the three bulls that I've used in first, second and third today. But all of those exhibitors should certainly be proud and congratulated on their efforts for those bulls in the first bull class there this morning. So congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Gender View Invitational Bull
Class 13, bull aged 12 months and under 16 months. 4 entries in this class, catalogue numbers 29 through to 32 to please parade.
The Gender View Invitational Bull
Class 13, bull aged 12 months and under 16 months. 4 entries in this class, catalogue numbers 29 through to 32 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, some information on these bulls as they parade. Catalogue number 29 weighs 504 kilograms, has a P8 and rib fat of 10 and 6 and an EMA of 88 square centimetres. Catalogue number 30 weighs 588 kilograms, has a P8 and rib fat of 13 and 9 and an EMA of 99 square centimetres. Catalogue number 31, 636 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 13 and 9 and an EMA of 102 square centimetres. Catalogue number 32, 678 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 8 and 5 and an EMA of 104 square centimetres. P8 and rib fat of 13 and 9 and an EMA of 102 square centimetres. Catalogue number 32, 678 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 8 and 5 and an EMA of 104. And ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, over just behind the Machinery Hill judging rings is the JBS stand. They're doing a meat display, a cooking display at 11 a.m. With some samples, I understand. So if you're wanting to head over to the JBS stand, you'll see them at 11 o'clock doing a display. Judging rings is the JBS stand. They're doing a meat display, a cooking display at 11 a.m. With some samples, I understand. So if you're wanting to head over to the JBS stand, you'll see them at 11 o'clock doing a display. Ladies and gentlemen, the result in Class 13, bull age 12 months and under 16 months. First place to catalogue number 30, Ruby Ridge Volume, exhibited by Ruby Ridge Angus. In second place, catalogue number 31, Ruby Ridge Valuable, exhibited by Ruby Ridge Angus. And in third place, catalogue number 32, Destiny Vital Anthem, exhibited by KL and MJ Frost. Sashing our winners in this class is Mr. Tim Lord from KO Angus, and I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comments on this class. Third place, catalogue number 32, Destiny Vital Anthem, exhibited by KL.
Thank you. Well, I suppose, if anything, one of the major decisions that came down in this class, ladies and gentlemen, really comes down to maturity pattern. The bull I've gone for in first place today is probably on the earlier side of mid-maturity for me. But certainly brings the most amount of thickness through the hind quarter, smoothness through the shoulder, tremendous amount of depth of body. He's a very soft bull. He's got tremendous amount of carcass and red meat to him. He's a very balanced bull, and I think that's that balance that got him into first place compared to the bull in second place today. The bull in second place today is certainly on the upper end of maturity pattern. Certainly probably not something that I'm looking for at home, but if you're after a larger frame bull that's going to put plenty of weight for age on at an older age, this bull may be the one for you. Tremendous amount of length of body, smooth through the front, probably just gives up a bit of depth of body and capacity to the bull in first place today, as well as natural thickness throughout the hind quarter. As we start to move down the line into our third place bull, a really heavy, good weight for age type of bull. Plenty of capacity, plenty of depth of body, probably just gives up a bit of soundness through the forequarter and through the shoulder to the two bulls that I've used in first and second today. Again, very balanced type of bull in terms of his carcass and maturity pattern. It was probably just that structural soundness that had him into third instead of further up the line today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Through the shoulder to the two bulls that I've used in first and second today. Again, very balanced type of bulls in terms of his carcass and maturity pattern. It was probably just that structural soundness that had him into third instead of further.
The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDLA. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully
Ladies
vaccinated.
and gentlemen,
A bull for everyone.
in the
Contact
ring
your
now,
preferred
class
GDLA.
14, bull age 16 months and under 20 months. We have a single scratching from this class, catalogue number 37. So we'll have 33 through 36 to parade. Ladies and gentlemen, catalogue number 33 weighs 782 kilograms, has a P8 and rib fat of 14 and 9 and an EMA of 114 square centimetres. Catalogue number 34 weighs 734 kilograms, has a P8 and rib fat of 12 and 10 and an EMA of 112 square centimetres. Catalogue number 35 weighs 850 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 13 and 8 and an EMA of 135 square centimetres. Catalogue number 36 weighs 788 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 16 and 9 and an EMA of 118 square centimetres. P8 and rib fat of 13 and 8 and an EMA of 135 square centimetres. Catalogue number 36 weighs 788 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 16 and 9 and an EMA of 118 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 14, bull aged 16 months and under 20 months. First place to catalogue number 35, K5X Viper V6, exhibited by SB Hayward and KL Smith. In second place, catalogue number 36, Destiny Thrills Exclusive Victory, exhibited by KL and MJ Frost. And in third place, catalogue number 34, RAF Top Gun, exhibited by Golden Fells Angus. And I'd like to thank Dr. Sed Wise from Wise Repro sashing the winners in this class, and I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comments. And in third place, catalogue number 34, RAF Top Gun.
Thank you. Well, another exciting class to adjudicate and assess over. Certainly makes you pretty excited as a cattle breeder, as an Angus enthusiast. Just the variation and quality, and I suppose being able to find a bull for every different system and market that we can certainly think of here domestically. If the bull in first place would like to lead off. For those good judges around the ring, it wouldn't be too hard for you to see just an ample amount of red meat. Super strong through the top, super deep through the thigh, just a tremendous amount of thickness throughout. He's thick from front to tail, nose to hindquarter. Wherever way you look at him, he's just got a heap of red meat and softness to him. What I do appreciate about this bull is that often when we get so much thickness and red meat put into our skeletal frame, perhaps sometimes we can give up a bit of freedom of movement. But this bull is certainly one of the freest moving bulls in the class. He's mid-maturity pattern and really ticked a lot of the boxes that I was looking for today. The bull in second place out of the group of four is the most similar to the bull I've used in first place. Mid-maturity pattern, carrying an ample amount of red meat through that top, through the chine, down through the hindquarter. Again, he's got a really good amount of capacity and depth through that rib and mid-piece. He's got enough thickness through the hindquarter. He probably gives up a little bit to the bull in first place, but it was certainly that depth of body that got him into second compared to the bull in third. The bull in third could well be the best built through the forequarter. He's super smooth through the neck. He's super smooth through the shoulder. He's a super long type of bull. He's a very smooth skin type of bull, very free moving. Probably just gives up a little bit of capacity and depth of body and cleanness underneath through the sheath compared to the bulls in first and second today. Congratulations to the exhibitors and all the best for the rest of the morning.
Thank you.
He's a very smooth skin type of bull, very free moving. Probably just gives up a little bit of capacity and depth of body and cleanness underneath through the sheath compared to the bulls in first and second today. Congratulations to the exhibitors and all the best for the rest of the morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now judging our junior and reserve junior champion Angus bull. If I could have catalogue numbers 21, 30 and 35 to please parade, and catalogue numbers 23, 31 and 36 to be ready in case required for the judging of reserve. Reserve junior champion Angus bull. If I could have catalogue numbers 21, 30 and 35 to please parade, and catalogue numbers 23, 31 and 36 to be ready in case required for the judging of reserve. We could have catalogue number 36 into the ring for the judging of reserve. We could have catalogue number 36 into the ring for the judging of reserve. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Angus ring, our junior champion bull for 2025 goes to catalogue number 35. K5X Viper, exhibited by SB Hayward and KL Smith. And our reserve junior champion Angus bull, catalogue number 21. Diamond Vigilante, exhibited by Diamond Angus. Awarding our junior champion and reserve junior champion bulls is Miss Antonella Ganis, and she's been here as part of the World Angus Forum representing Argentina. So we'd like to welcome her here to Brisbane today and thank her for sashing this class. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comments on his junior and reserve junior champion bulls.
Thank you. Well, obviously using two different bulls out of opposite ends of the age category here this morning, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of the older junior class has got up to be the junior champion here this morning, just really based on how free-moving he is, how much thickness he has, how much, I suppose, depth of body he has through that hind quarter. Really tremendously made from the back of the shoulder out. Probably, if anything, before you see him on the move, you think perhaps he's heavy enough through the front third. But when he gets on the move, he's actually quite neat on his feet and legs, and it was that reason that he got up into the championship today. The calf that takes out reserve, got a lot of time for this calf. Really smooth made through the forequarter. Just a beautiful amount of neck extension into a really well laid in set of shoulders. Tremendous amount of meat through the spine, down through the loin and down through the hind quarter. Probably, if anything, just gave up a little bit of freedom of movement through the hind quarter compared to the junior champion. But I think as an Angus breeder, we have to admire, I suppose, their maturity pattern, how much red meat and carcass they're bringing to the table, all together in quite a well structurally sound feet and legs type of outfit. So congratulations to those two exhibitors. Look forward to seeing some more bulls a little bit later after our mature females in a moment's time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
So congratulations to those two exhibitors. Look forward to seeing some more bulls a little bit later after our mature females in a moment's time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Ladies and gentlemen, just while they're taking some photos, just a reminder, we have the Suncorp tent behind us. We like to thank them for their support every year. I think there's a donation for tea and coffee, and there's a few pastry snacks there, I think, as well. Behind me too is the Heart of Australia truck. Please consider going in, having a chat to those guys. They're doing heart checks, and there's also skin checks today as well. If you get a chance, it's a great opportunity to do that while they're here on grounds. I'd like to thank Stock Live as well. They're here streaming every breed, every ring, every day, so we'd like to thank them for their support as well.
The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology.
Choices.
Thank you. Well, we spoke at length in this cow class with the champion and reserve coming out of that same age group. You know, just doing the job on their first calf. And look, I'm the first to admit that both of these females are at kind of opposite ends of what we would see in terms of power and size and overall kind of weight for age. But what I really admire is that there's a job for both of these cows. We've got the reserve cow that's just super functional. She's got that super udder underneath her. She's very sound. She's very well put together. And then we've got the cow that's got a bit more power, a bit more weight for age, a bit more performance to her, a bit more depth of body. But both of these females have structural soundness in common. They're very free moving. They're very clean made through the forequarter, through the front. They've got enough depth of body and capacity and enough carcass to them. So, look, another judge on another day may well have swapped these around, but for me, just really hard to go past that extra capacity and weight for age and extra red meat that the champion had here today. But congratulations to both of those exhibitors. They should be extremely proud of what they've done here, and all the best for the rest of the show. So, look, another judge on another day may well have swapped these around, but for me, just really hard to go past that extra capacity and weight for age and extra red meat that the champion had here today. But congratulations to both of those exhibitors. They should be extremely proud of what they've done here, and all the best for the rest of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to the judging of our grand champion Angus cow or heifer. If I could have catalogue numbers 20 and 44 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to the judging of our grand champion Angus cow or heifer. If I could have catalogue numbers 20 and 44 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2025 Grand Champion Angus cow or heifer goes to catalogue number 44. Diamond Elas Miss Legend, exhibited by Diamond Angus. Presenting the association sash, Mr. Scott Wright, our CEO from Angus Australia. Our Grand Champion cow also receives a medallion from Angus Australia. Diamond Elas Miss Legend, exhibited by Diamond Angus. Presenting the association sash, Mr. Scott Wright, our CEO from Angus Australia. Our Grand Champion cow also receives a medallion from Angus Australia. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, our Grand Champion receives the association sash, the medallion and sash, sponsored by Angus Australia. The Elders Shield of Excellence, sponsored by Elders Limited, presented by Mr. Mitch Jackson from Elders Studstock in Mergen. And some International Animal Health products, sponsored by International Animal Health. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his Grand Champion cow.
Thank you. Well, I've spoken about this young female at length over the last few classes, ladies and gentlemen, but one thing that makes me very pleased as, I suppose, an Angus enthusiast and the person out here lucky enough to be adjudicating here this morning was just the consistency that we had between the cow and calf and the heifer. They're very similar in their style and makeup and design. You know, they're just a fraction bigger, but they've got plenty of thickness. They're free moving. They're sweet enough through the front. And they're very, I suppose, got that depth of body and just that consistency that I was looking for. Probably, if anything, just gone for the cow, just a little bit more free-moving here today. But just wanted to congratulate all of those Angus breeders that have brought out their females for the judging classes here this morning. I suppose we might see a few of those later on in the groups, but just like to congratulate you and thank you for your time and effort for doing so. Thank you very much. All of those Angus breeders that have brought out their females for the judging classes here this morning. I suppose we might see a few of those later on in the groups, but just like to congratulate you and thank you for your time and effort for doing so. Thank you very much.
The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls.
Ladies and gentlemen, some more info on these bulls. Catalogue number 48 weighs 968 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 21 and 13, and an EMA of 139 square centimetres. Catalogue number 49 weighs 1,068 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 19 and 10, and an EMA of 134 square centimetres. And catalogue number 50 weighs 1,038 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 16 and 12, and an EMA of 146 square centimetres. pH and rib fat of 19 and 10, and an EMA of 134 square centimetres. And catalogue number 50 weighs 1,038 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 16 and 12, and an EMA of 146. Ladies and gentlemen, just a few other announcements. Check out the Eka Beef Week Health Hub and have a 15-minute basic health check, skin check, and learn more about mental health support in rural and remote communities. And a reminder to head over to the Suncorp Bank Barbecue for a snack in return for cash or FPOS donation. All funds raised will benefit the Toowoomba Hospital Foundation. Save big at the Just Country and Ariat store in the John Reed Pavilion. Exclusive Beef Week deals on denim tees, hoodies, western shirts, caps, gear bags and more today only. And the Office of Industrial Relations through Workplace Health and Safety Queensland is here to share practical tools, safety resources and expert advice to help you and your workers stay safe, healthy and productive. Visit their marquee. It's over behind the Santa Gertrudis tent. Queensland Country Life is celebrating their 90th anniversary this year. Head to the marquee for a special edition showcasing this important milestone. If you're looking for a feed, we have plenty of places open today. On Machinery Hill, there's the 4X Stockman's Bar and Grill, the Woolworth Steak Bar, Railway Cafe, and Dairy King Soft Serve. There's also hot donuts and coffee open on level 1 of the large animal pavilion, and King Street also has lots of tasty options for you to try. Also pop by the Somerville House marquee until 4 p.m. today. They are supporting the lead steer competition and have a special giveaway for you. Head over for a chat. For the first time at Ekka, the JBS Butcher Truck is rolling in with live carcass breakdowns and tasty beef samples from 11:30 a.m. today. See expert butchers in action and learn about your favourite cuts. It's a must-try experience for all. And thanks to our major Ekka Beef Week sponsors, JBS, AAM, Suncorp Bank, Kubota and Queensland Government, and our supporters Ag Force, Elders, Greenstock, Queensland Country Life and Somerville House. It's a must-try experience for all. And thanks to our major Ekka Beef Week sponsors, JBS, AAM, Suncorp Bank, Kubota and Queensland Government, and our supporters Ag Force, Elders, Greenstock, Queensland Country Life and Somerville House. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 19, bull aged 20 months and under 22 months. First place to catalogue number 50, K5X Ultra U91, exhibited by SB Hayward and KL Smith. Second place to catalogue number 48, K5X Up and Coming U97, exhibited by SB Hayward and KL Smith. Presenting the ribbons in this class, Ms. Mia Dixon. She's from Cloncurry and representing the Central Northwest in the Showgirl competition. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this class of senior bulls.
Thank you. Well, really interesting class of bulls, ladies and gentlemen, and certainly a lot of appreciation and admiration for the bull that leads this class, if you'd like to lead off. Just a bull with just a great amount of carcass and red meat and shape to him. He's just thick through the back of the shoulder, all the way down through the hind quarter and down through the lower thigh. He fills out through the twist. He's got plenty of depth of body. And when you get behind this bull, he actually is fairly free moving. And when we start to get bulls up around that ton sort of weight for age, at not quite 2 years of age, being able to be free moving is really critical. And this bull actually, when you get beside him, does actually stride out and cover the ground reasonably well. I really like the way he held his kind of head high and carries just that shade more thickness throughout. The bull in second place, probably more similar to the bull in first than the bull I have in third. Again, a bull with a tremendous amount of side to him, enough depth of body to him, enough sort of rib capacity and carcass shape to him. Probably not quite as free moving as the bull that I've used in first place today, and that's the reason he gets one position down the line. The bull in third place today, certainly the kind of later maturing type of bull. He's a big type of bull. He's got plenty of frame. He stands over a lot of ground. Probably just, if anything, just gives up a little bit of thickness out the back of the shoulder and down through the heart girth and chine. But a tremendously made bull under, through his testicles, and probably just gives up a little bit of consistency in his sheath to the two bulls that I've used in first and second today. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jake.
But a tremendously made bull under, through his testicles, and probably just gives up a little bit of consistency in his sheath to the two bulls that I've used in first and second today. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the Angus ring, class 20, bull aged 22 months and under 24 months. Single entry in this class, catalogue number 53 to parade. And catalogue number 53 weighed in at 1,018 kilograms, had a pH and rib fat of 15 and 9, and an EMA of 148 square centimetres. Single entry in this class, catalogue number 53 to parade. And catalogue number 53 weighed in at 1,018 kilograms, had a pH and rib fat of 15 and 9, and an EMA of 148 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 20, bull aged 22 months and under 24 months. First place going to catalogue number 53, K5X Universal U87, exhibited by SB Hayward and KL Smith. Sashing our winner in that class, Miss Mia Dixon from Cloncurry, representing the Central Northwest in the showgirl competition. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this bull.
Thank you. Well, might have perhaps got another class right today, ladies and gentlemen, but I suppose a bull that could certainly have handled a fair bit more competition. I think what makes me excited about this Angus industry that we all work in is I suppose the variation in genetics that we do have at hand. And this bull is just a tremendous amount of muscle shape, carcass thickness through the loin. He's 148 in the EMA. He's got a B plus type of muscle score through the hindquarter, and he gets around the ring reasonably well. He's very well made through the testicles, and we look forward to seeing him through the championship. So congratulations on an outstanding individual. He's got a B plus type of muscle score through the hindquarter, and he gets around the ring reasonably well. He's very well made through the testicles, and we look forward to seeing him through the championship. So congratulations on an outstanding individual.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next class is Class 21, bull aged 24 months and under 30 months. 4 entries in this class, catalogue numbers 54 through 57 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, our next class is catalogue number 54, weighed in at 1,048 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 19 and 11, and an EMA of 142 square centimetres. Catalogue number 55 weighs 990 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 10 and 7, and an EMA of 137 square centimetres. Catalogue number 56 weighs 1,166 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 21 and 13, and an EMA of 145 square centimetres. And catalogue number 57 weighs 1,090 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 17 and 9, and an EMA of 138 square centimetres. 1,090 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 17 and 9, and an EMA of 138 square centimetres. pH and rib fat of 21 and 13, and an EMA of 145 square centimetres. And catalogue number 57 weighs 1,090 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 17 and 9, and an EMA of 138 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 21, bull age 24 months and under 30 months. First place to catalogue number 56, Diamond the Underdog, exhibited by Diamond Angus. In second place, catalogue number 55, K5X Upturn, exhibited by SB Hayward and KL Smith. And in third place, catalogue number 57, Bowenfels Chaos, exhibited by Bowenfels Angus. Presenting the ribbons in this class, Mrs. Jackie Couch, Secretary of Angus Queensland. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this class of bulls.
Thank you. Well, just another difficult class, I suppose, in terms of trying to, we've got that silhouette in our mind of the type of animals that we're looking for here this morning, ladies and gentlemen. And it's about trying to find those individuals that most closely match really what we're trying to select for at home and kind of what the industry is demanding. And I suppose across the maturity pattern and the variation styles and types and kinds in this class, there is certainly something for everyone. So for me, just taking those extra couple of minutes was about weighing up those sort of pros and cons and finding the package that I suppose best fits what we're trying to look for, certainly at home. The bull in first place today is certainly a bull that stands over a lot of ground. He's got a lot of scale to him. I would say that all of these bulls probably could move a little bit freer this morning if I was, to be super critical, but this bull is super smooth through the front. He's got an excellent kind of laid-in shoulder to him. He's got tremendous length of body. He's got tremendous capacity and thickness throughout. He's not coarse in any way. He gets around the ring, okay. He's pretty well made underneath. He's tight in the sheath, and he's very well developed through the testicles. The bull in second place today, certainly probably towards the earlier end of the maturity pattern compared to the other bulls in this class. What you have to admire about this particular individual is his thickness, his capacity and dimension through the loin. He's just got such a lot of eye muscle area and red meat throughout his loin and down through his hindquarter. He's a reasonably free-moving type of bull. He probably just gives up a little bit of tightness in the sheath to the bull in first place today, and probably that's one of the reasons I was able to split those hairs on first and second position. The bull in third place today, more similar in type to the bull that I've used here in second place. A bull that gets around the ring really quite well. Probably just gives up a little bit of thickness compared to the first two bulls that I've used in first and second today. But certainly a bull that has a lot of quality to him, and particularly the way that he is free moving and gets across the ground, I should say. Congratulations to the exhibitors, and look forward to seeing what's yet to come. Thank you. But certainly a bull that has a lot of quality to him, and particularly the way that he is free moving and gets across the ground, I should say. Congratulations to the exhibitors, and look forward to seeing what's yet to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now judging Class 22, bull age 30 months and under 42 months. Two entries in this class, catalogue numbers 58 and 59 to please parade. And catalogue number 58 weighed 718 kilograms. P8 and rib fatted of 11 and 7, and an EMA of 106 square centimetres. And catalogue 59 weighed in at 1,346 kilograms. You might have seen him on the news. P8 and rib fat of 30 and 15, and an EMA of 148 square centimetres. And catalogue 59 weighed in at 1,346 kilograms. You might have seen him on the news. P8 and rib fat of 30 and 15, and an EMA of 148 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 22, bull age 30 months and under 42 months. First place going to catalogue number 59, the Station King, exhibited by AJ and M Scrivener. And in second place, catalogue number 58, HVB Angus South Point, exhibited by St Joseph's Nudgee College. I'd like to thank Mrs Jackie Tout from Currajong Angus and the Secretary of Queensland Angus for presenting these ribbons. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this final class of senior bulls.
Thank you. Well, firstly, congratulations to the school that got the second place here. Certainly, we've got a strong association with schools presenting cattle. I know it's always not easy, so well done to you guys. Look, the bull in first place today, to be honest with you, look, just an outstanding individual. Just really cleanly made, very structurally sound at 1,300 kilos, still really super mobile. Gets across the ground really well. He's got a tremendous amount of red meat to him. He's clean fronted. He's great over the top. He's great underneath. To be honest, probably one of the more complete bulls that we've seen here this morning. At 1,300 kilos, perhaps starting to reach that, I suppose, point in his weight. We need to be considerate of where we're going to use him and on what type of females. But for what he is, he ticks a lot of the boxes. So congratulations to the exhibitor. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now looking at judging our senior champion and reserve senior champion Angus Bull. If I could have catalogue numbers 50, 53, 56 and 59 to please parade, and catalogue numbers 48, 55 and 58 to be ready in case required for judging of reserve. Catalogue numbers 48, 55 and 58 to be ready in case required for judging of reserve. If we could have catalogue number 58 into the ring for the judging of reserve. If we could have catalogue number 58 into the ring for the judging of reserve. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Angus ring, our senior champion Angus Bull for 2025 Royal Queensland Shows, catalogue number 59, the Station King, exhibited by AJ and M. Scrivener. And our reserve senior champion bull, ladies and gentlemen, catalogue number 50, K5X Ultra, exhibited by SB Hayward and KL Smith, presenting the Association Sash and Medallion, sponsored by Angus Australia, the Honourable Mr. Tony Perrott, Minister for Primary Industries for Queensland. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his senior and reserve senior champion bull.
Thank you. Well, as we start to get to these bulls at sort of 2 years of age, or maybe a fraction more, you know, they're carrying plenty of weight for age. We sometimes probably need to ask ourselves, how much weight do we really need? But, you know, given that, we need to assess how free-moving they are, how well they cover the ground. And I just felt that the two bulls that have managed to get to the front today out of this lineup probably covered the ground the best. They were probably the most free-moving. They have just a shade more natural thickness and carcass to them. And look, you know, perhaps a couple of these are sort of carrying enough weight in the front third, to be honest with you. But as you get to bulls that are a ton of age, you know, we're going to see some thickness and some course throughout. So really the question is, how well do they move? How free-moving are they? How well are they made underneath through the testicles and the sheath? And are they put together on a good sound set of feet and legs? And I just felt that the champion here today, you know, 1,300 kilos, that's not really the benchmark we're trying to be aiming for, but just love his head carriage. Just love the way he holds his head up. Love the natural thickness over the spine. Love the depth of body. He's so well made underneath. He's actually pretty free moving, to be honest. You know, I suspect that's perhaps not his first show, but he certainly gets around the ring and covers the ground extremely well. The bull in second place today, probably the most, or the reserve champion, I should say, probably the most similar in type, I suppose, to the bull that I've gone for in champion. You know, another free-moving type of bull. He's got thickness throughout from the front third right through to the hind quarter, and he carries that all the way down through the thigh. He's very well made underneath, and he gets around the ring extremely well. So congratulations to both of those exhibitors. Look forward to following your progress in the future. Well done. He's got thickness throughout from the front third right through to the hind quarter, and he carries that all the way down through the thigh. He's very well made underneath, and he gets around the ring extremely well. So congratulations to both of those exhibitors. Look forward to following your progress in the future. Well done.
The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the Angus ring, we're now going to be judging the Eaton Webster Sauer Memorial Trophy Grand Champion Bull. If I could have catalogue numbers 35 and 59 to please parade. We're now going to be judging the Eaton Webster Sauer Memorial Trophy Grand Champion Bull. If I could have catalogue numbers 35 and 59 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eaton Webster Sauer Memorial Trophy Grand Champion Bull for 2025 Royal Queensland Show goes to catalogue number 59, the Station King, exhibited by AJ and M. Scrivener. The Grand Champion Bull receives the Association Sash and Medallion and Sash, sponsored by Angus Australia. Those are being presented by the Honourable Mr. Tony Perrott, Minister for Primary Industries. Our Grand Champion Bull also receives the Elder Shield of Excellence, presented by Mitch Jackson from Elder Studstock in Mergen. And he receives $110 of International Animal Health Products, sponsored by International Animal Health Products, presented by Mr. Stuart Elam from International Animal Health. And also the trophy, sponsored by Mr. Ross Webster and Mr. Greg Webster from Sarum Angus Cattle Company, presented by Mr. Ian Tout from Currajong Angus. Presented by Mr. Stuart Elam from International And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his grand champion bull.
Thank you. Well, probably I've spoken at length and at depth about this particular bull, but very, I suppose, pleasing to see two bulls out here that just have a shade more muscle and shape to them, and they're very sound bulls. They get around the ring very well. They cover the ground. They're carrying perhaps a little bit more weight. They're not extreme in any sort of necessary way, and they're very balanced in their constitution and makeup. Just probably like to take the opportunity to thank all of the bull exhibitors here in the Angus ring. I've certainly enjoyed adjudicating and assessing the quality cattle that you've put out on display. And I think one thing for sure is that we can certainly find an Angus bull for every system that we have in Australia. So congratulations to all of you, and particularly the grand champion bull. Well done. One thing for sure is that we can certainly find an Angus bull for every system that we have in Australia. So congratulations to all of you, and particularly the grand champion bull. Well done.
The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen
Ladies and gentlemen, Class 23, a pair of bulls. This is bred and owned by the exhibitor. Exhibitors must be entered in the general classes. We're just waiting on a couple of pairs to come through, and we'll have them in the ring shortly for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Class 23, a pair of bulls. This is bred and owned by the exhibitor. Exhibitors must be entered in the general classes. We're just waiting on a couple of pairs to come through, and we'll have them in the ring shortly for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the first of our group classes, Class 23, a pair of bulls, bred and owned by the exhibitor. First place to catalogue number 61, Diamond Angus, CL Fuller and GJ Isepi. In second place, catalogue number 60, exhibited by SB Haywood and KL Smith. Sashing these pairs of bulls, Mr. Ian Tout from Currajong Angus. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this pair of bulls.
Thank you. Well, I really love these group classes. I love exhibiting in them. I love judging them because they get harder as the day goes on. We start with our pairs and we get into our kind of mixed sex groups shortly. And I think the thing that's important about these pair classes, it's about consistency. It's about this is a shop front for your breeding program. It's about how consistent can you be between animals. In this case, it's two bulls. And for me, there was one group of bulls out here today that was clearly the most consistent, and that's the group that we've used in first place today. They're very similar in their maturity pattern. They're very similar in their structural soundness. They're a pigeon pair. They're very consistent regardless of how they actually individually went through their classes. You can see what this breed is trying to do, the style of cattle they're putting out for us all to assess today. And congratulations must go to that exhibitor for the consistency that those two bulls carry. As we start to move down the line, we've probably got a couple of bulls that did quite well individually. There's probably just some subtle differences between the bull that leads the pair compared to the bull that's in second place in the pair. Just probably a fraction, I suppose, shorter in frame, the bull in second position, but you do have to admire that consistency in carcass shape. For Angus bulls, they're probably carrying just that shade more carcass thickness through the hind quarter and over the loin, and that's the reason they're in second place today. When we get to our bull in third place, you know, unfortunately the grand champion bull here is down the line. But when we compare him against his stablemate that comes out, they're probably just a little bit different in terms of age. And I think that age then probably impacts how mature they look and the extra carcass and thickness and shape and cover that they have. And so there was probably just a little bit more difference in that third pair compared to the ones we used further up the line. Congratulations to the exhibitors. They're probably just a little bit different in terms of age. And I think that age then probably impacts how mature they look and the extra carcass and thickness and shape and cover that they have. And so there was probably just a little bit more difference in that third pair compared to the ones we...
Ladies and gentlemen, in the Angus ring, we're now judging Class 24, the Breeders' Group. And this is 3 animals, both sexes to be represented, bred and owned by the exhibitor. All animals must have been entered in the general classes. And we'll just swap some neck cards and ribbons around and we'll have them in the ring for you. 24, the Breeders' Group. And this is 3 animals, both sexes to be represented, bred and owned by the exhibitor. All animals must have been entered in the general classes. And we'll just swap some neck cards and ribbons around and we'll have them in the ring for you. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 24, a breeders group. 3 animals, both sexes to be represented, bred and owned by the exhibitor. In first place, catalogue number 67, exhibited by Diamond Angus, CL Fuller and G.J. Isepi. In second place, catalogue number 66, exhibited by Colleen Angus. And sashing these winners in this class, Mr. Scott Wright, the CEO of Angus Australia. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his final class. In second place, catalogue number 66, exhibited by Colleen Angus. And sashing these winners.
Thank you, and look, apologies for the just the bit of extended time there. Look, for me, to be honest with you, I've been showing cattle for more than 20 years, and I just love and live and breathe this industry, and this breeders group is a really difficult thing to win, and so I take it quite seriously when I'm given the opportunity, to be able to assess that. A breeders group for me is really around showcasing the quality of your bulls and females and the consistency of your breeding program. As we start to assess some of these groups, we find that there's some, I suppose, differences with individuals, and so it comes really with some challenge about how we, I suppose, weigh those things up in our mind. I thought the group that wins the breeders group today was just probably the most consistent. There's some individuals throughout each team that could well get up on top, but the consistency of this breeders group with the young bull that leads the class, the junior champion heifer and the senior champion cow really was a consistent outfit of 3 animals. You can see what the breeder's doing in terms of their consistency and style. They've all carry a tremendous amount of capacity, an ample amount of red meat. They're all very clean fronted, they're free moving, and you can see the consistency throughout the bulls and females. As we start to move down the line, we start to probably just come into some of those things that we have to weigh up in our mind. I really love the second place group. I had a lot of time, commented at length about the cow that leads the group off. Just an outstanding functional female. She's moderate in her style and her makeup. She's structurally sound. She's got the best udder that we've seen today. She's doing a great job on the calf. And in the group, there's also the heifer that won the first class, if my mind serves me correctly. So a really good, consistent group. Probably, if anything, the bull's just a little bit different in style and probably structural soundness compared to the 2 females. And we have an unplaced group here in third. Love the consistency in the bulls. We've spoken about them at length. They did quite well individually. Probably just, if anything, preferred the cow in the second place group compared to the group that we've put into third or largely unplaced. I do believe this might be my last opportunity to speak on the microphone. You would have definitely heard enough from me today, but I spent 5 years of my life just working up the road here and looking down on this ground where many of Australia's best cattle women and cattle men have been able to come out here and judge cattle and exhibit cattle over a long period of time. So for me to get the opportunity and the invitation to come along to the ECA today has been one of life's pleasures. I've done a lot of judging around Australia, but I would have to say that the quality of cattle we've seen here this morning would be some of the best I've ever seen. So congratulations to all of the Angus exhibitors. You have a very big place in my heart, and I thank you sincerely for the invitation to come and judge your cattle, and I wish you all the very best for the rest of 2025. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jake, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That does conclude the judging of the Angus breed for the 2025 Royal Queensland Show. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Jake for his judging and comments here today. I think we all enjoyed and took something home from what he said. I'd like to thank everyone out here in the public for attending. I'd like to thank our handlers and exhibitors here today as well. They've well presented cattle and on time for us. And I'd like to thank my stewards in the tent in the ring and at the back as well. So thank you all very much for your attendance, and we'll move on to judging of the Gelby breed at 12:30. Well presented cattle and on time for us. And I'd like to thank my stewards in the tent in the ring and at the back as well. So thank you all very much for your attendance, and we'll move on to judging of the Gelby breed at 12:30.
The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 70 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 16 at 12 p.m. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated. A bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent.